We are here.
Hello, thank you for joining us today. Who do we have the pleasure of speaking with today?
You're speaking with the group.
And which group is this?
This is the higher dimensional group that is the external.
Do you have a name?
We do not have a name.
And how are you connected to Claire?
She is part of the group as you are yourself.
Very good. Thank you so much. We have some questions. I'm sure you are aware from the conversation that we had prior to this session. We are looking for clarification for there's a lot of information that we are exposed to or have access to from people who are channeling information from the Galactic Federation of Worlds. And there's information about the flash and the event and all of these things that are supposedly supposed to happen here on Earth. And then there are people who are saying that we are going to be here for many, many years and are setting up humanity to continue moving in this direction of continuing our lives here. And we're basically wanting to know why is this? Why are different people that are supposedly channeling the Galactic Federation of Worlds bringing in different information for the collective? It seems to be causing a lot of confusion. Could you provide some clarity for us on that?
You have made choices. Each person has come to make a different choice. We are all not making the same choices, and this is why there are different choices in front of you to pick from. Some will be experiencing staying and remaining, and others will be experiencing removing and moving on. It is about your individual choice, and this is why it will cause confusion because of the many different decisions that have been made. You have pre-decided what you will be doing and how you will be continuing. It is not a case of, I do not wish to pick that choice. This is a case of you have made this choice and you will follow through with that.
We are hearing that Gaia, the consciousness of Gaia, is leaving the planet. Is that true?
As its current state, in her own development, she will be leaving the current state of how it is now. As we are all growing and awakening and descending, as you are yourselves, so is Gaia herself.
So is the consciousness of Gaia going to New Earth?
A portion of herself will be going to New Earth, but there is a portion of herself that is choosing to go elsewhere. It is not a singular, it is a multitude.
So is there a portion of Gaia that's remaining with the old Earth?
There is a small portion, yes, that will be remaining, a portion of experience that Gaia wishes to choose. But the portion that will be going forward with the timeline that everybody else chooses, it is a multitude of herself. It is not a singular.
Will there eventually be a point where all of mankind is no longer on the planet Earth that is today?
Yes, there will be a time where it does not exist anymore as we all come back to the one. That is the end goal, is to come back to the one.
We have heard through various channels, including Laura Whitworth, our teacher, um, that this timeline is actually in the next few years that is happening. Can you provide any insight into that?
The information that is coming forward from very, very many sources is the timeline that they are on, and they are bringing forth other groups that wish to follow the timeline that they are on, and then they come forward and bring this information as the collective of that group that follow these particular people. It is a chosen timeline.
So, as far as the timeline of Earth and all of humanity no longer existing on Earth, what is the timeline roughly for that to happen?
It all depends on what you have chosen. If you choose to jump ahead and ascend even further and skipping the parts where you stay on the timeline of being with Earth, if you choose to ascend up even further than that, then you shall do so. There's no fixed group time. It is your individual time, it's your individual path within the group that you are on. It all depends on what you have chosen to do. There is that timeline that will join in and be in a new place, in a new earth, but there are other timelines that some of you are on where you will skip this and you will join in and go forward into being one.
And where would that take place, being one?
The one
Is
of
that,
source.
I see. So, we have questions about specific people that are getting information from the Galactic Federation of Worlds. So, for instance, Lori Ladd, I listened to a channeled message from her with the message that the dark agenda has many other events up their sleeve, if you will, for humanity to experience, to continue to awaken the collective. Um, the question is the information that Lori Ladd is getting from the GFW, is this information, I guess, accurate?
It is accurate. It is accurate for that timeline.
I see.
What we all need to understand is there are many timelines that are going to be played out, and the timeline that she is on is the correct one for her and her followers. But the information of that timeline is correct. Whether we choose to be on that timeline or another, that is the difference.
So for people like myself, I follow many different people bringing through this information, and this is, I guess, where the confusion is coming from. Is I'm hearing lots of different timelines, and so that's where the questioning is coming from. Is basically who's correct? And I think what you're saying is they're all kind of correct. Is that
They are
fair?
all correct. There is no right or wrong, it just is the timeline that everybody chooses to create.
So why is it that the GFW or the representatives of the GFW providing these different people who are channeling for Lori Ladd or Blossom or Elizabeth April, they all seem, I mean, there's some of it that seems to be the same, but that some of it is different. Can you help clarify that?
As we have said, that the information of each timeline is the one that you have chosen to be on, and some information on one timeline will infiltrate onto another. And as the timelines that are many at the moment, some will join, some will become bigger and bring in the collective of that timeline. There is no misinformation necessarily. It really is just about picking which one that you are choosing to pick as a group, as an individual.
I see. There's been speculation that Elizabeth April has somehow been infiltrated, if you will. Can you provide any insight on that?
Her timeline is her timeline. Her information is her information. There is no right or wrong. It's whether somebody wishes to resonate with what it is she is providing. It is all about creating the reality that you are on. And if she is part of that reality that you choose to be on, then you will be on that. If you choose to move away from that, then you choose to move away. If you choose to pick another timeline, you may do so. You are all creating these timelines. They are not coming to you, you are creating them.
I see. But yet our higher selves have already, as far as our timelines, have already been chosen.
You have chosen them, but you've also come to bring them about at the same time. Once you master and understand that everything that is in front of you is your creation, then you will grasp which place you will need to go.
So when we ask questions about the flash or the event, so that is a timeline that is that a timeline for everybody?
It is not a timeline for everybody, no. But it is a timeline for the light workers, the energy workers. They will be able to see, they will be able to experience this.
And what is the effect of the flash on us and those that are able to see and experience it?
It is clearing away the last of the dirt, if you wish to look at it in that aspect. The ones that cannot resonate with it, the ones that will not be able to hold that light that is coming through, they will be falling away. They are currently already falling away as they themselves know that that is not part of their journey.
So the light workers and the rest of humanity that is left after that initial flash, the can you give us information and insights into the role of the light worker at that point?
There are many that are already on the other side of what we would call the flash. They are already waiting for us to reach that level. They are now standing there waiting as you yourselves feel you are standing here waiting for the others to wake up. And as we ascend past onto that flash, there will be others there to greet us as well, as we ourselves will be greeting the new people waking up. There are many levels to this.
Can you give us insight, Claire and I, into each of our timelines for what is happening with the flash and after the flash?
You have come to witness the flash. It is a big event. It is an exciting event. You have all come through to witness this. You have all come through to witness what will happen after the flash. It is a very exciting moment in time. And you have wanted to come here and participate in this, to bring it about, to create it.
When the flash occurs, is it Claire and I's timeline, and maybe even some of the others within our practitioner group, to stay here on Earth to help those who remain? Is that our timeline?
It is the timeline, but it is not the earth that you think you will be helping on. It is not a case of picking the people up and dusting them off. There will be a completely different reality that you will be working in.
I see. And is that on the new Earth that we're doing that work, or where is that?
It is the other dimension of what you would call the new earth that is coming about.
I see.
It is very hard for everybody to understand what it would look like and what it would be like. But we all try and we all see in our human form and imagine what it would possibly be like. But I can tell you that it will be something that you have never experienced or could even possibly imagine at this point.
How exciting. And for the people who do remain on Earth after the flash, what is it that they will be experiencing?
They will be standing in them full selves of their light and their joy. Not everybody is going to completely move away from this as they've come in and wanted to enjoy being on earth as it should have been originally. This is what they have come here to do, to experience being a human being without all of the negativity, without all of the darkness. They came here to experience the world in its glory and in its joy, and they will get the opportunity to be there and do that as it was originally intended.
Mm. So there is a timeline of Earth where the humans continue to live here and to experience Earth after the flash.
Not as you know it now.
Mm.
It is about expanding the mind and the imagination of what could possibly be here, but it will not be as you know it now.
Well, what will it be like?
It will be an array of colors that your visuals will not be able to perceive at this current time and this current body. There will be emotions that you will feel that you do not understand now. You would think the highest level of joy in this 3D realm is so great, but it will be greater. It will be bigger. You will have access to emotions and visions and audio that you have never experienced before. It will be a completely different place.
It sounds to me like very similar to the new Earth or that other dimension. Is that
It is another dimension.
mm. So? What you just described, is that the new dimension, or is that what Earth will be for those who remain?
The earth will be in the new dimension.
I see. I see. Okay. So there is. So are there two different places, or is it just one place?
It is a different dimension of earth itself. It is not a separate, it is just another level.
I see. Is there any information that you would like to provide us about the flash, this upcoming flash? A lot of us are sensing that it is like upon us. I mean, that's the messages that we're getting, that it is happening very, very soon. Can you provide any insight into that?
It depends on how you perceive the concept of time. Our concept of what would be soon could be shorter than your concept of what would be soon. But as we are not necessarily in the whole mix and we are not experiencing time as you do, we would say that it is soon. But you yourselves are sitting and waiting and waiting and waiting and getting more and more frustrated. And we say to you, there's nothing you can do. It will happen anyway. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, we very much appreciate you coming through and answering these questions for us today. Um, is there any other last messages before I release you?
There is nothing else that needs to be discussed now.
All right. Thank you so much, and I release you to whence you came. And now I ask for Claire's higher self to come through, please.
I'm here.
Hello. Thank you for coming through. Claire would like to know if she has a dragon aspect of herself or a spirit that is connected to her.
She does. She is living a life as a dragon elsewhere.
Mm.
Her dragon has chosen to be in a form.
And what is that form?
She is living her life as this dragon in the place where dragons reside. Her energy and her dragon self, her external dragon self, is currently living at this point, experiencing itself, as a dragon.
Can you give her a visual of this dragon so that she can see this dragon?
I am giving her the visual now. This is a very old dragon, and the dragon is at peace with itself. There is a multitude of colors of greens and purples, very large, very old, very wide.
And what does this dragon look like?
It has scales and thorns, but the eyes of a kind soul.
Does this dragon assist Claire in her life that she has today?
She does not need assistance. She did before, but she does not need assistance. And now I am living as I should, as a dragon, and experiencing myself. We're a multitude of beings at many times, and this aspect of herself, which is a dragon, is having a multitude of lives itself, and one being the dragon, and one being clay.
Very good. What are the other aspects of Claire? So we know that she is an Arcturian. We know that she is now a dragon as well. What are the other aspects of Claire that she is not currently aware of?
She is aware of multitudes of them, but one that she enjoys going to, that she is not aware of herself in her waking aspect, but she goes there in her dream aspect, is just being light. This is a place that she enjoys the most, is being light in her dream states. She is very comfortable there. There is no body, there is no emotion. There just is, and it is very peaceful.
Very good. Are there any other aspects of Claire besides those three?
There are a multitude. There are so many. We have so many. All of us have so many. There are many Earths. There are many other planets. There are many on an esoteric level. There are many on different dimensions. We could be here all day examining each one. We all have this. We are all doing this.
Can you give us insight into the twin flame phenomenon and why there are some people that have a twin flame and why there are others who do not, especially as far as like being incarnated on Earth?
Some of you have chosen to experience the separation. Unfortunately, on Earth, it has been so romanticized of this twin flame, and it is your other half. It is not your other half. You are a whole being. And the idea of this twin flame has been hijacked and romanticized here on Earth. And people feel if you connect in with your twin flame, then you will have the most amazing relationship and experience. And that is not the purpose of the twin flame. The twin flame is an aspect of yourself that is closest to you. Your twin flame is the mirror of yourself experiencing what you're experiencing now, whether it be here on earth or whether it be external from the earth. The ones that do not have their twin flame here have chosen to have the experience of separation, and your twin flame self is having the same experience elsewhere.
Mm. Yes, I've witnessed the twin flame dynamic is actually one that is very challenging, not obviously for myself, but in others. So,
It is very challenging indeed. And that is what the purpose of that relationship is to challenge, is to poke at the wounds, is to help you grow.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Is there any messages that you have for Claire at this time?
There is nothing else that she needs to know at this time. She is looking after her body. She is looking after the external and the internal as best she can in this current moment that we are all in.
She had asked to see a visual of the flash. Is that something that we can help her see today?
We have shown her this before many times. It is the flash of breaking through into the new dimension. We have shown her New Earth many times, and it coincides. It's like a breaking a seal and going into that next dimensional level,
Mm,
and it comes across as looking like a flash.
I see. That helps a lot. Okay. I do not have any other questions, and I believe that Claire is also complete. If there's any final messages, let's go ahead and give those to Claire or myself now before I go ahead and close the session.
The only message is just to be in the moment of where you all are now. Everything is as it should be. Everything that you are seeing is as it should be. And you are both correct in your idea of that everything is happening for the point of the awakening.
Very good. We appreciate you coming through today, and I ask that you recede to where you belong with much love and much thanks for the information that you have been giving us today.